In fact, there's a serious bad history between the Alake of Egba land, and former President Olusegun Obasanjo, and what they really have in common, or what would I say, as a kind of beef among both of them, is really serious, because it's coming from time past. It has been a very long journey for these two, and I wonder why it seemed not to have settled up to this very moment. I wonder why old men are still keeping hard things in their mind for a very long time, even while the Obasanjo was the president, and all of that. And now that he's still one of those very successful men in Egba land as well. That is in Abeokuta in Ogun State. But as it is now, well, we'll give you some of the history between these two and what is between them that has caused them to really be worlds apart, and why their history seemed to be like a tragedy, and all of that. Anyway, more details will come to you, but please, if you have not subscribed, please ensure you hit the subscribe button, and also give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can get updated anytime we drop a new video. All right, dear friends, without further ado, it says right here that one historic strategy, one victim, two utterances, lost ironies. That was the situation of April 11 at an Abeokuta club function, reference June 12, that watershed crisis of 1993, which marked the beginning of the end for Nigeria's political soldier, and which, after 6 years of unimaginable tension in 1999, birthed Nigeria's current democracy. But first things first, it was reported and claimed that MK Abiola presumably won the June 12 election, which General Ibrahim Babangida annulled. Absolutely no presumption. MKO won, presumed to have won, was the shifty media apologia smuggled into the fray to explain away the high crime. But it's good MKO has received a posthumous honor on the matter, with June 12 becoming Nigeria's Democracy Day instead of May 29th. The former President Olusegun Obasanjo actively pushed throughout his 8-year presidency and among his partisan power successors before President Muhammadu Buhari got MKO justice. But back to the Abeokuta Club event, at which Obasanjo was named a club trustee and MKO posthumous vice patron. The Alake of Egba land, Oba Adedotun Gbadebo, dismissed as bad blood. The high conspiracy that robbed MKO the presidency despite his epochal win at the polls, that was spot on. It was a bad blood that penetrated the top brass of Nigeria's political ravaged military, which eventually destroyed all of those political soldiers and left the military itself a mere shell. The Egba monarch should know, though he retired as a colonel in 1985, well before the high-stake power conspiracies of 1999. But the irony of the bad blood comment appeared totally lost on Obasanjo, made double ironical by trying to say nice things about MKO and his June 12 bona fides, after his orchestrated attempts to rubbish the MKO ideals, thinking only that that would give his own May 29 emergence historic life. The plot fell flat, though, after being floated for no less than 1.5 decades under the People's Democratic Party (PDP) Obasanjo's old order, which brings the discourse to the ringing multidimensional ironies of Obasanjo's own bad belle comment at the occasion. Though Obasanjo tried to be nice to MKO's memory, the Ebora Owu was an active and baleful spirit in the anti-MKO June 12 maneuvers, even when MKO was alive and fighting for his mandate. Obasanjo's Pauline morphine from nastiness to niceness is appreciated. At expense of ghosting history, he was part and parcel of the bad belle he spoke of, and it was really rich trying to push it as the sole fault of IBB and other deluded hotheads. Then the costly Freudian sleep, Obasanjo's basic take in all of the June 12 catastrophe appears a regret over the non-actualization of power vanity, personal and collective concerning Abeokuta and its sons. His top regret was that bad belle robbed the Egba trail of himself, Ernest Shonekon, and MKO, a power hat trick, to borrow that football lingo to the glory of Egba land. Nice but bad joke. In truth, it was two Egba sons, Obasanjo and Shonekon, that actively plotted against another Egba son, MKO, and his historic June 12 pan-Nigerian mandate. Nigeria history would perhaps have been better off without that plot. So let the Ebora will not glibly falsify history and make light of the treachery after making merry at the Abeokuta Club. Well, whatever is between these two, I believe they should actually sort it out as quickly as they can because, the Alake of Egba land is the king of the Egba kingdom. And, he's one of the biggest kings in the Yoruba land. And, of course, we know how powerful the former president Olusegun Obasanjo actually was because he was one time in the military and, and after all of that, he also came out as a democratic, let's say the first democratic president Nigeria ever produced. And, he's just someone that made a lot of decisions that affect our today and even so many things that are still yet to happen in Nigeria. I remember it was in his time that there was the introduction of telephones and networks and all of that. And, a lot of things. But, whatever challenge is having with the Alake of Egba land, I think it should still be sorted. But the Alake was, why he's bitter or angry with Obasanjo was because he believed that the Obasanjo should have sided with his Yoruba counterparts, that is MKO, for the June 12 election, because back then he believes that Obasanjo is one of those people in power as well, that is in the military though, but, he was someone that could have as well been able to support his own. He said, but all that was a bad blood and bad belay that Obasanjo had, that he never stood for him. He said even while he became president, he never talked about MKO Abiola and even making him, making him win that election, even in his death. That's the posthumous election or winning that he was supposed to have for people to recognize that day or recognize him as the main winner of that June 12 election, 1993. But, it was this present administration that was able to do that, and they were able to do that about 2 years ago, where they actually named June 12 as, Democracy Day and all of that. And, he said if the Yoruba man that was the first democratic president couldn't fix that, then he's really a bad person. And all of this happened because they are all in Abeokuta right there. So that is it, dear friends. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Don't forget to drop a comment and also give this video a thumbs up. Do have a pleasant time. Bye for now.